Yes, people, what is happening? Welcome back to Lily White Lane. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing okay. Tottenham Hotspur have just defeated Leicester live from the King Power Stadium this Sunday afternoon on the last game of the Premier League season for Tottenham Hotspur by 4-2. Wow. A mix of emotions after that one. Right, first thing I want to get off my chest. What a fantastic performance. What a fantastic response, really, as I say. A really, really good response from the boys out there. Obviously, we go 1-0 down early on to a penalty from Jamie Vardy. It is a penalty, in my opinion, the first one. I didn't think the second one is, but I'll get to that in a bit, as I say. So let's go through the talking points. So it's a penalty from Jamie Vardy. He puts it away really, really nicely. Sends Hugo the wrong way. And that puts Leicester 1-0 up. And then Harry Kane, as I say, right before half-time. So clinical. A brilliant strike. Puts it into the back of the net. And that makes it 1-1 heading into half-time. 1-1, as I say. And look, I said before the game, I would definitely take a point against a side like Leicester for a number of reasons, including the Europa Conference League, which, you know, just like some of the later goals in the game, I will get to that later. So look, 1-1 at half-time, as I say. We come out in the second half and we start the second half off really, really sloppy. Not fast enough, as I say. Not enough pace, as I say. Really sloppy passes. And it does come to cost us. A penalty is given away. Now, look, I do believe we had a goal coming, but I do not think that was a penalty at all. Sanchez gets his hand stuck in between Vardy's arm and his body, as I say. You know, he goes to pull his hand out. It doesn't make any real contact with Vardy. Vardy dives and goes down, and it gets given as a penalty. I don't believe it was a nailed-on penalty at all, but nevertheless, Vardy puts it straight into the right-hand corner. Really well taken penalty in all fairness. Both of them were really, really good, as I say. Hugo thought he was going straight down the middle and he didn't. So look, really, really good finish by Jamie Vardy. Very, very clinical on goal from that second penalty. And from there, we were absolutely immense. We were absolutely incredible, in my opinion. One of the best, 30 minutes of our whole season, where we just absolutely dominated Leicester. We pressed them so well. We played so well. And it really does strike me, why didn't we play that when it really did matter to get into the Europa League against Aston Villa? And I can't understand that. But look, you can only play what's in front of you. And for those last 30 minutes, I thought we were absolutely incredible. Constantly applying pressure, constantly pressing the opposition. Really, really good play. Passing the ball around nicely, not being impatient as well. Just taking a strike for the sake of taking it, taking our time, waiting for our chances. And our chances did come. We took every single one of them, as I say. It's a good, obviously, the second goal. Now, look, you have to look at that equaliser, as I say, from a standpoint that it's a good finish, but I do think Leicester are really, really unlucky to concede from it, as I say. But at the end of the day, it's a really, really good finish. And look, that makes it 2-2. Then the third goal, as I say, Kasper Schmeichel, Davinson Sanchez, I don't know whose goal it was. I believe it, Look, you have to look at it from a standpoint as they're probably going to give it to Schmeichel. I do believe Sanchez got a touch off his head. It goes into the back of the net. They're probably going to give it to Schmeichel. But at the end of the day, it goes in, and that's all that matters. And then, the icing on top, Gareth Bale with a really, really, really good finish, as I say. Look, I do believe, I got it the wrong way around there, obviously. Our equaliser was the Davinson Sanchez and Kasper Schmeichel goal. And our third goal was Gareth Bale's first finish, which was really, really nice, as I say. It comes straight to him off Harry Kane, puts it straight into the back of the net. Really, really good. And then his second finish to put us 4-2 up right at the end is the one that is the icing on the cake. It's a really, really good finish, as I say. He hits the post, but he gets it again and puts it straight into the back of the net. Gutting for Leicester if you're a Leicester fan. But it's a really, really good performance. And look, it's a good performance. Now, let's be realistic. A good performance that finishes off an awful, awful season. This season hasn't been good enough by any stretch of the imagination. And I said I would take a draw, right? And the reason I said I would take a draw is because if we won this game, we would end up in the Europa Conference League. Now, I didn't want to end up in the Europa Conference League, but you have to see the positives in every single result coming out of this game. If we lost it, fair play to Leicester. They get in the Champions League over Chelsea. Obviously, that didn't happen, but they get in the Champions League over Chelsea. If we draw this game, great, we're not in the Europa Conference League. And if we win it, it's a big 3 points against the top-tier side. And look, we are in the Europa Conference League, and there's definitely a lot of negatives, in my opinion. The first negative it's an embarrassing competition to be in my opinion. The second negative, the teams that we're playing in there is, many people haven't heard of them at all. I don't think nobody's heard of a lot of teams in that competition from other countries that don't often get included in the top tier competitions, the Europa League and the Champions League. So look, we're going to have to play them next season, but I do believe there are some positives. And the first positive that does come to mind is game time for the youngsters, game time for the likes of Dane Scarlett, Ryan Sessegnon, Niles John. Some of these really young, talented players are going to get some game time next season. Now, I don't believe we're going to have to play the likes of Harry Kane if he does stay at Tottenham Hotspur. I'll get to that in a bit, as I say, but I don't think we'll have to play the likes of Harry Kane in this competition, the likes of Heung-min Son, the likes of Højbjerg, the likes of Lloris. You have to look at this competition and see it's a real opportunity to play some of our youngsters, although it's very embarrassing, and even if we win it, it doesn't mean anything, because you win it, you get a place in the Europa League, and that's, not even what we're fighting for. We're looking to get top 4 most seasons. So look, from a trophy standpoint, as I say, I couldn't care less about it, but it's a real opportunity to develop some of our youngsters, give them some real good game time and see what they're made of. So I am interested in that side of things, as I say, and we'll have to see what next season brings. But look, going on to the topic of players leaving, today was Gareth Bale's last game, and he tops it off with two really good finishes. The first one, as I say, it comes to him outside the box, given to him by Kane. He smashed it into the back of the net. Good goal, as I say, and a good goal that breaks Leicester fans' hearts. But look, the second goal hits the post, clinical, as I say, takes his chance. I would have put that one away. I think everyone would. But nevertheless, it's a goal, and he gets 2 goals at the top of his time at Tottenham. Now, look, it's exactly what we expected it to be, Gareth Bale coming back to Tottenham Hotspur. We didn't expect him to be the Gareth Bale from 2011-12, but he's defied a lot of odds when people said, he'll be awful, he won't score any goals, he won't be good enough at all. I believe he's come to Tottenham Hotspur, he's done his job, he's given us some moments. Seeing Gareth Bale in the Tottenham Hotspur shirt was good enough anyway, as to say. But look, he's given us some moments, scored himself some goals, as I say. There's positives all round on Gareth Bale's return to Tottenham Hotspur. And look, best of luck when he does go back to Real Madrid this summer, as I say, and does play for them next season. Now, we'll have to see whether they decide to sell him. But look, maybe he can get some more game time if someone such as Max Allegri comes in over Zinedine Zidane at Real Madrid. So look, fair play to Gareth Bale. He's done his job at Spurs. Good luck next season, as I say. Now, look, as I say, we've spoken about Bale leaving. That's definitely confirmed. What about something that isn't confirmed? What about Harry Kane? Was today Harry Kane's last ever game in the Tottenham Hotspur shirt? Do I think it was? Yeah, I do think it was. I really do think it was. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out in the summer, whether Levy decides to sell him no matter what the bid set by opposition sides, as I say. We'll have to see what happens this summer. But look, just like many things with Tottenham Hotspur, you can see the positives and negatives. Now, I do believe he will leave this summer. I do believe the teams that can afford him are the likes of PSG and Manchester City. Out of the two, I could see him going to PSG. Pochettino, one of Kane's favourite ever managers that he worked with for so many years. The manager that developed him into the star he is today. And Jose was just the icing on the cake into basically adding much more to Harry Kane's game. That's one positive from Jose Mourinho being at Spurs. He added so much to Kane's game, as I say. Whether that's not him being the target man anymore, but dropping back, doing defensive work, swapping around with the attacking midfielder, as to say, really complex roles that Harry Kane was playing under Jose, and he really has developed his playing style so well. So I could see him going to PSG. You imagine that front three: Kane, Mbappe and Neymar. Bloody hell, that would rip any team to shreds, in my opinion. You can say what you want about PSG's attitude, but with that front three, they would rule the world, quite literally. But look, Kane may have been his last ever game in a Spurs shirt, but what I'll say is he's one of those players that you never see in the paper for the wrong things. He's one of those players that you only see in the paper for breaking records, for doing a fantastic job. And he won the Golden Boot today. He got his 3rd Golden Boot, as I say, at Tottenham Hotspur. Congratulations to Harry Kane on that, as I say. And look, if he does decide to go, there's no animosity, in my opinion, between, all Spurs fans, well, most Spurs fans, as I say, no real animosity from the club towards Harry Kane if he does decide to go. He's come here, he's done a phenomenal job. He's given us so many years of brilliant moments, as I say. And look, If he is to go, then best of luck to him. But if he is to go, we have to invest that money, not into a replacement for Harry Kane, but into a whole squad. We have to sell our deadwood. You end up with a budget of about 200 million once you've sold Kane and the deadwood. And we have to invest that money into a new squad. And this is where the rebuild starts. This is definitely the start of a rebuild. If we would have gotten Europa League football, I do believe we would have gotten away with it. I do believe we could have carried on without having to rebuild the squad next season by, just bringing in a couple players. But we need a rebuild, and we definitely need a manager who's looking to do that rebuild. Ryan Mason, as I say, his last game. And look, it hasn't been the best of tenures for Ryan Mason as an interim manager. He's been playing a lot of his friends, in my opinion, his mates over actual players for their talent. But at the end of the day, he come in as an interim manager. No one expected anything really, taking over from Jose Mourinho. And he hasn't done that bad of a job, but at the same time, he hasn't done that good of a job. So best of luck to Mason. And you know what, right? I do hope he carries on coaching. I believe it's the under-19s, I say, helping out at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, coaching, young players, the likes of Dane Scarlett, Alfie Devine, young players coming through. So, look, best of luck to Ryan Mason. Fair play to him. He's had a, decent tenure as Tottenham Hotspur manager. And, yeah, best of luck. Hopefully he does continue his management career and another team down the line does pick him up. So, look, best of luck to Mason. It's been a pleasure having him, as I say. And look, he's one of those players that does deserve it, really. He does deserve to have that moment with Spurs, considering the way his career went with an injury. So many goodbyes, a goodbye for Mason, a goodbye for Bale, maybe a goodbye for Kane, maybe for Son even, as I say. But look, at the end of the day, it's a big 3 points and a fantastic performance. Players that really stood out for me today. Look, I thought Sanchez, right, although he gave away the penalty, I thought he had a really, really good performance by, dealing with Jamie Vardy. I thought he'd done really, really well. And, the penalty, you say what you want, whether you believe it was a penalty or not a penalty. Apart from that, he had a really, really good game, as I say. He scored a goal, whether that be given to him or Schmeichel, as I say. He was the one who, got the pressure onto Schmeichel and basically caused the header to go into the back of the net. So he got himself a goal, putting some really, really good tackles and challenges, as I say. I thought he was brilliant. Really, really did impress me today. Other players, as I say, Kane, so positionally aware today. I thought he done really well. Bale coming off the bench, had a really good performance. More off the bench as well. The two substitutions are two that I thought Mason got spot on today. So no real complaints from me towards Mason. I thought he got the lineup wrong. Obviously Tanganga not able to play and Sergio Aurier injured. Your only real option is Doherty. So he had to play Doherty. I wasn't happy to see him in the team sheet, but he didn't have that bad of a performance. At the same time, he didn't have that good of a performance. Same thing with Winks, as I say, wasn't that bad. Made some decent passes, but also made some slip up. So look, as much as it hurts me to say this has been your last match review / Insta match reaction for the season. It's been a long, long season, as I say. Really, really good performance to finish it off, though. And look, you have to look at this season as an absolute rollercoaster ride. December we were top of the league. Now, we've just finished 7th. So you have to look at it as an absolute rollercoaster ride. Was it a good enough season? No, not at all. But I look forward to seeing what happens next season. And you really could say it is going to be a fresh start. It really is going to be a fresh start. We're going to have to bring in a new manager, rebuild this team. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure presenting these shows to you guys all season long. And do not worry, right? Do not worry, because during the summer, every single week, as I say, every few days, we'll be bringing you Euro updates, discussing Tottenham Hotspur's players, as I say, out on international duty and analysing their performances. We'll also be bringing you transfer updates during the summer, as I say, Tottenham updates, all of that good stuff, as I say. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure this season. Don't go anywhere, because we'll have content coming all summer long, as I say, and then next season we go again. So thank you for watching so much. Thank you all so much for supporting this channel. Started off this season, it's been a monumental season for me as a Spurs fan, starting this channel off, and I never thought I'd get this far on it. So thank you all so much, as I say. And let me just say this, right? Next season, it's not just going to be the background. There's going to be a green screen there for all of you to enjoy. So you guys tell me what you want on the green screen, whether it be the Tottenham Hotspur stage and whether it be Levy out, which is probably what I'm going to put, with a clown on the back of his, with a clown mask, I say, on his face. So look, we're definitely making improvements, definitely investing money into this channel. So please, guys, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, Come on, you Spurs!